Today, I'm joined by Behrouz Pooladrak, software engineer over at Booking.com, and apparently he's a living legend. If you ask anyone about hackathons within Booking, they'll point you to him. He's actually won a couple or so, and with close to 1,000 engineers participating, that's quite the accomplishment. It's one of his main passions, and he's going to explain why hackathons are valuable for you as software engineers and for a company to organize. They even organize hackathons in their graduate programs, and there's a lot of skills you get from participating. After this conversation, I'm sure you want to participate as well. So enjoy. Do you do that often? Go from an idea and kind of a need where you see there's no real good solution, or even when it's just an experiment, you create a tool out of that?
This is kind of my hobby. So what I'm doing is like each time I have some sort of idea or problem in my life, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm always looking how can I like solve this problem for myself, and also anyone has the similar problem. Mm-hmm. So I did it for multiple applications. Some of them are already published, some of them I didn't publish yet. And like it could be like, for example, I created something for appointment hunter. And this is what this is like. Getting appointment for some government was really challenging for me. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people struggling, and you need to go to the page, refresh and so on. So I said, why we spending a lot of time doing that? We can just automate it. So I did it in like even less than an hour. I create an application. It goes and does everything for you, sending notification when it is done. So you can do the same thing. You can enable yourself for the job or work that is like you're struggling now. And I shared this application, and apparently that was super interesting for the HR of the company I was working, and they shared it with all people, and they were really happy. I got a lot of feedback, but there was like hundreds line of JavaScript code, so there was nothing really challenging, but I could do it like in an hour. So this is my hobby, to be honest. I even develop games. I develop some application for myself. I develop even for different technology, not for the web itself, like using Electron. I develop application for Macintosh and like other OS. And that's really feasible. Like if you know the ground knowledge, you can easily, there's no need to go to documentation right like before and go and read a lot of documentation, understand all aspects. You need to know the general capabilities of technologies. Then you can easily puzzle that up and make what you want.
I feel like building and creating applications, regardless of the platform, even seeing problems and then trying to find a solution in software, it's a real skill. And I'm wondering from your perspective, since you say this is a hobby of mine, how do you become good at that?
I think the best thing to being good at this skill is doing it. So it's like you need to try, you need to fail, you need to like do it more and more. And I always I remember the first like application I started, I struggled a lot. It was not really working well. But I even started this hobby before this AI era. So that was more like challenging and time consuming for me. And the start of this era, it was like a really happy time for me, to be honest, because I jumped into the project in a day. So I even created one like optimization application for myself. I have these printers that you have in the stores, thermal printers. And for my daily work, it automatically prints out my to-do tasks. So I created with JavaScript, connecting with some server and webhook, and just patched everything like in a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. And I have like a printer every day prints out my to-do list. This is like really like old-fashioned way of doing that. But I want to just experiment, doing different stuff, making some crazy, and that like these AI tools enabled me to do it super fast. So I did it like so many things like this before, but it took me a month or 2 months sometimes and like your vibe is not always high. You cannot do it really fast. But now when I start, most of the time I finish the same day. So it doesn't like take more than 1 day for me to getting something to production ready state. Yeah. But the code, most of the code is write only, so it's not that high quality. So, but it works. Because I'm not going to sell those products, but this is like MVP, but it enabled me and resolve my problem. I can go ahead. I also try to make one of the projects in a high quality. Mm-hmm. So that took more time,
Yeah.
But I could break it down with the help of AI, with the standard I know, like each function should be really short, like file names, everything. I could also do it the same way, but it takes way more time. And you should start it really soon. You should not like make the product working, then switch in to change it. So it's really horrible. You need to start from the ground. Don't allow the AI go the wrong way. Block it and go step by step. It takes more time, but the end result can be more production ready. If you want to sell it, if you want to have something that is maintainable later. But this product, most of the product I generate is not really maintainable, but it does the job I want. And that's enough for me. There's no like security really layer in some of them. And some of them which need security, I have even 4 or 5 layers of security. Because if you know it and you see this is like a challenge for the security, you can already ask AI to do that, or you need to do it manually sometimes. It's not always good at doing everything related to security.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this skill of getting something up and running in one day or even a few days, it really reminds me of hackathons where there's a competition and this is the goal basically. Everyone comes together either as individuals or as groups that just have formed that meet this goal that they have set, and then they have a few days to execute on it. What has been your experience with hackathons?
Exactly. I'm passionate about hackathons, and in my company, I'm like a symbol of hackathon.
You're the man.
And yeah, like every time I'm speaking with people, they start talking about hackathons. I even like the one that going out from the like representative of the company going out and speaking about hackathon in universities as well, because this is like really my real passion. And that's the same reason, because this comes from my hobby that is generating something and like ideating, solving the problem. And that goes to the hackathon as well. And I found like the opportunity in my company also to having this availability to having 2 times a year hackathons. And I've done a lot of crazy projects in the hackathons, which I'm really proud of, because the end result was not only in the hackathon. I could like get something out to the world and get real result out of that. And that was really interesting. I didn't know that it's really even possible in the past that you can do something in a hackathon and at the end you get something real life out there.
Do you have an example of what you built in the hackathon and what made it in the product?
Exactly. I have quite a few examples. And I can start with one of them, which was the start of the ChatGPT era. We formed a team to create an agent. So our mindset was to having something like before that we had some people, you go there and just they manage everything for your trip. I wanted to create the same thing with the AI. That was really like crazy idea at that time, because our company like Booking.com is huge. So you cannot easily attach everything to the like simple agent. So we started with the attraction only. So look into the attraction, we created the hackathon and we started working on that. And what we did was to create an agent that you can chat, and it was already equipped with the generative UI, and it could generate UI for the list and show you a list of items. Then you can buy or select, add to your like selections, or save it as like a bookmark and so on. Then you can ask questions about your whole trip. So for example, say you are in Paris and you want to do all activities, restaurant, and some of them even not available at Booking.com, but you want to plan it. You want to have an itinerary for yourself. So the idea was to discuss, ask questions. So you can say, I have like with 2 children, a dog, and like these circumstances. It can be even complex circumstances. And it's not even easy for human or everyone to manage that, but AI can easily break down. And also we created something like a vector database to search through all availability that we have and serve a better result for people. It was just for the attraction. And that was quite a nice experience for me, that we developed something crazy. There was even that time I remember, OpenAI, there was like API for OpenAI, but the ChatGPT quality was different with the API that we had available globally. So what we did was to creating a wrapper over the ChatGPT, and like a hacking way of getting access to ChatGPT because the quality was better. We wanted a really high quality LLM to analyze everything that we had because hallucination was really a thing that time, and now it's way better than before. Then we even learned prompt engineering throughout the process. So it was like a lot of learning in a week, and that was crazy, learning and applying. And at the end of the day, we also won. It was really, really nice feeling as well. So it also encouraged me, okay, I should like spend more time focusing and looking for the different ideas. And the main and important thing I also mentioned is this is not ending when you've won or finished the process. It's just a start. Like the company started a huge team over the idea, and many other people started to develop the same thing, but with the standard approach because the hackathon code is not reusable. It's write only again.
Yeah.
And they started to form a team and develop. And now we have AI tree planner already developed and available in many regions. And I'm super proud that I like started this fire, and now it's like helping a lot of people. And this is really, really great feeling that I also had with my small project, like personally. Now I can do it in a larger scale. I'm super happy and really, really nice.
That's really amazing. I mean, only the fact of Booking has thousands of engineers, and if they all get twice a year time to execute on projects like this, and the really good ideas get followed through and actually make it in the product, that is such great fulfillment. It's incredible.
Exactly. Last time I can mention, it was like around 900 people involved in the hackathon. And that was a lot. If you walk into the office, you see the vibe, people like drawing something on the whiteboard, like discussing. And this is not only about like one role. Into hackathon, you can easily switch roles and you can experiment. For example, if you like to be engineering manager and you're an engineer, in the hackathon, there's opportunity to go to the role and practice, see if you are really good at it. Or data engineering, other role, anything that's not what you're doing. This is a really good moment to go to the like different role and see if you like it or not. So this is really also a really good point for the hackathon.
So it's not just engineering that participates.
Exactly. One of the projects I can mention, there was like we were around 12 people in the team. That was a really huge team for that project. And we had SEO engineer, data analyst, ML, PM, EM, all different roles, even copywriter. And first I was like thinking, is that even needed for like hackathon?
What are they going to do?
What they're going to do. But at the end of the day, I've seen each of them has a crucial like point about everything we do. And we had really nice like copywriter giving us right wording for the advertisement, for the landing pages, for whatever we create. And the quality at last was like killing quality. So it was like no brainer for the team to say, okay, you are the winner. And that time I realized what is the value of these like roles. And I learned a lot about different roles, what is like their mindset. I didn't know about SEO, how they're going through the steps, how do they find keywords and other stuff around it. But this is a great learning. If you're not really happy with what you're doing, this is also a good moment to see other opportunities, what there are people doing. If you are interested in, you can jump into the different role and you can transition also as well.
Yeah, I really like how you make the most out of the opportunity, not just from an idea sense, but from a learning perspective. Learning how to collaborate with people that you otherwise would never speak kind of in your day-to-day, and seeing and kind of gaining empathy for their perspective and what they're great at and seeing how that fits in a product. I only see upsides, basically. I also participated in a hackathon. At Xebia, we get a 1 day every other month, which is great, but it's only 1 day. And then usually you do like a proof of concept. You try and do as much in 1 day. And then my previous experience at a previous client, it was like a 2.5 day thing. We formed a group and I was like, okay, this is going to be fun because I never get more than 1 day. So we can actually do a lot more now. And I had this one person, he was team captain. He was like, I've done many hackathons. I've done like 40. Okay.
Nice.
We're going to decide idea. He had things time framed. He really was the one that kept everything on track, made sure people made good trade-offs, were practical, also delivered and executed and didn't just overthink or overanalyze. And I think that is really what I needed.
Exactly. So I wasn't that person, but I turned to be that person. So now I am the person that you mentioned. So the first day I always like gather all team. We need to have a strategy. We need to look into the people that we are like presenting to. So we even list up people that are like in the jury. What is their mindset? What we should target everything. So this is like selling the real product out there. So if you want to sell your product, you need to look at the customer who is going to like assess my product. You need to engineering the process and not just, okay, my idea is good, I develop it.
Yeah.
You need to do it like to the point and develop something, and especially for the demo. Like demo is a really real crucial part of the hackathon, and you need to nail it. And it's not like you have a great product, sit it there and just your presentation is 2 pages and you cannot represent what you've done. What is the like crucial value behind it? For one of the hackathon, we even created like a production ready videos, like we interviewed with some people outside of the company.
Yeah.
So we like attached a lot of like content to make it tangible, and also we look into the feeling of people. When you create something, you need to also touch their feeling. It's not like, okay, my product does this good. You need to touch the feeling. So you need to go through the all aspect of a real company, that when you're selling a small startup, this is exactly the same as selling one hackathon project. You need to go through the same steps and just think like that, then it changes everything.
Yeah.
And all people are getting energy. Okay, we have a like mindset now. We can go to this, and then the brainstorming coming and people like sharing their expertise. We had some people, okay, I have a really good expertise in narration. I can create a high quality narration for the video. So what we created at the end of the day, I even was amazed of the quality, because okay, I am really good at editing video. So they were like PM, EMs, but they had some expertise. They can just turn it into the project and make really the most out of the project.
I think that's gold. Like treating your hackathon project like a mini startup, seeing what you have in people and leveraging whatever creativity they have to execute and tell a story, and not just create software, but also sell it to whomever is judging you or whomever the audience is.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. That makes it a lot more like, I get super excited hearing you talk about that environment. It's really cool that you get time from work to do that. Have you also seen that outside of company settings, like hackathons that are organized by communities that have the same vigor?
I can say one is still inside, but it's like we have for the graduates. So we have same setup for graduate, but it is not 1 week, it's 4 weeks. So it is you have even more time.
Yeah.
And that is super amazing, because I'm a mentor of those program. I'm aware of all the steps that happens. So past year it was like you have 4 weeks. You join as a graduate. You don't know anything about like working at a company. You just jump out of the university. We want you to know everything after a month. So this is a hackathon. When you join to the first day, you enter to one of the ideas. So it's like joining to a hackathon. You form a team and start working on your project. And each week we do have some specific goals. For example, first week you learn agile. You learn how to work and collaborate with the teams. Second week you do front end or back end. And third week you do front end. And last week you just form it, create demo, and present it. So these like a step-by-step process is like a month that you have, but it's super intense. You need to learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
Imagine you don't know Java, you need to learn it and you need to do it as well. So with the help of AI, it's a bit faster and easier, but in some week, we do not even allow them to do AI to try and struggle and know the value of this stuff, understand and know the technology, what is the right way of doing that. Then later, this tool can enable you to do that like faster and so on. But that was really amazing opportunity for people. And I was mentor of one team. I've seen the first day, they struggle even to speak together. But the last day of the week, after like learning sessions and process that we had, they were really close to each other. They like challenge each other. They discuss really critical stuff with each other. And this is exactly what we want as a company. After a month, if you join to a team, you have almost no onboarding. You already know all technology at the company. You already enable yourself using everything that you probably use later in your team. And this is going to reduce the onboarding process. And the feedback we got from the engineer managers was amazing. They were really amazed with people that just joined from the university with that level of understanding of the teamwork and like collaboration with the other people. And that was one of the example I can say, some sort of external, which was really nice.
Yeah, interesting. This for me is fascinating because I've also seen the industry trend of we don't need junior engineers anymore. We have AI that does that, even automate it. And then our seniors, they review PRs and stuff like that. But the fact that you have junior programs and graduate programs and people come in, they execute for 4 weeks and then they have real praise from engineering managers on that level is fantastic.
Exactly. I'm completely against this idea because what I've seen as a result, like I was working directly with them. I was like mentoring them daily. What I've seen, they are really great and we need it. Like we need juniors because they come from like university, they have fresh mind. We even had juniors that coming from university and they had like majored in LLM. So they have like top knowledge about LLM. We want them because if we move them to the right team, they can like perform 10 times better than other people. They do not know anything about LLM, for example. And throughout this process, we could like enable them in a month. So I don't think it's still like they're not valuable. They're super valuable. And they could like perform really well. So I know a lot of them. I'm now friend with them. I wasn't their mentor, but they're really performing really well. And all people, even like engineers, are amazed. Is that really a graduate that joined our team? They're really good and they can perform really well. And with the help of AI, if they're using it the right way, and first go through the understanding of the factors, not jumping into the conclusion, they always can have a proper result as well in consultation with the other seniors around them.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun. Like if I could go back in time, I would have loved to join a graduate program like this.
Definitely.
Sounds like so much fun.
Exactly.
How many people are usually in the graduate program that do this for a week?
Last time was like 70.
70.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's really a huge amount of people. And they're really crazy with the idea. They have a fresh mind.
They come up with their own ideas?
There's some sort of like ground ideas that are coming from the product managers because you do not want to just put their like what they do, just they want to apply something into it and they want to use those projects.
Yeah.
And we want to treat it as a like production product to make them also like doing something serious.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, I'm going to do it and they're going to just delete it at the end of the day. This is not the case. We want to make them more serious. Like this is something that we're going to use it later. So they are more serious. Okay, the algorithm should be like this. And so the discussion changes when you know the thing that you're working is seriously going to be used later. But they have like capability to change it to what extent they want because they can add a new feature, they can change the direction, but the main goal is like already defined. We want to have something with XYZ, but you can do whatever you want. So there's no limit into the functionality and features. They can just come up with the crazy ideas if they can implement it.
I feel like that is very smart. And I don't know if I've heard that before. Like if I think of hackathons, it's usually you have a theme and you can do whatever you want within that theme. But if you are creating something and there's a chance that it will be used in the eventual product, you act differently. I think that's very smart, especially for a product company to say, okay, these are our products and product managers have thought of these ideas. You can bring in your own or you can participate in this. And then it might actually contribute and benefit. Usually when you're talking about hackathons,
right? If
you talk to the wrong people, they see it as a cost, right?
Exactly.
What do you mean 3 days people don't work and they just play around? What is the benefit, basically? And you can say something vague with regards to knowledge sharing and learning, stuff like that. But if in the end there's something tangible that comes out of it that we can actually put to production and it has business impact,
exactly,
then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, what Booking does is like goes from the other side. It's sending a message to all PMs. Do you have anything you need? And you do not have capability of doing that. So they're listing those up and then they're looking into the items. Okay, which one is more suitable for these people that are coming? Because the project itself built with the like mentorship. It's not like they're developing by themselves. There's a mentor always looking into the all process. So the quality, the output is really high, the quality of the output. And they cannot be used directly, but they are really ground like floor for developing a real like production ready product out. So we're using high technology and like cloud and everything that we are using daily, because we want them to experience what they're trying to do later. So they're like small amount of experience before jumping into real work. And you experience everything. Like we try to allow them to experience all aspects, because in large organizations, you may go to a team that you have like working only on a specific feature. So you do not allow to work on everything, but we want them to already experience everything, different aspects of the like software engineering. And some of them even rotate into different teams, like 6 months to the team 1 and 6 months to the team 2, because we want them to have exposure to different aspects of the product, because it's too big and it's a lot of stuff to learn. And this is like a really ground learning process. And then they jump to the like 2-6 months process that they rotate into different teams and learn more and more. And after that, they get automatic promotion. And then they go to the real like team and stay in one team. And this process, I think, is really a smart design. Has a really smart design that you like start from intense. When the first day that you work at the team, you feel like, okay, this is a relief for me. So, but they learned a lot. So the process, they're learning a lot, and they learn not only for harder skill, but we had huge focus on the softer skill and agile and like teamwork. So we have so many mob programming, like pair programming, so many things that to connect them with each other and know how to work with each other in a real life.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah, interesting. And you've been in many hackathon teams and you've mentored graduates that also go through this process. What are some of the things that people struggle with regards to executing and delivering and kind of reaching the goal that they set for themselves? Is it planning? Is it actually teamwork or execution? What is usually a challenge?
One of the challenge I've seen is when you open like the capability of the new features, they may like aim for the really high and they cannot reach it. So they do not know how to easily break down the challenges to the small challenges and go step by step. Sometimes they aim really high and they cannot even reach it. So they're disappointed, they change direction and so on. So as a mentor, what I do is always sit and look. They're struggling. So I do not like jump in. You need to wait and see how they're struggling, what is their struggle. Then you need to guide them, not even directly give them the answer. And what if we do this? And what if we do that? So this way you help them in order to think that way and go ahead and figure out the solution by themselves. So when I just guide them through these challenges, they end, okay, we should do it like step by step. We should break it down. And then they manage to do it. And that was one of the things I've seen. And the other thing was more about the collaboration. The issue that they didn't know how to collaborate well with each other. Everyone was really great solo, but they couldn't work together. They couldn't enable each other. And that was also something that we were working a lot on the process to enable them with the like mob programming is one of the things that starts and breaks the ice between them. Yeah. Because one of them need to sit and the other need to guide. And so this speaking happens, technical speaking, question, answer. So this is really nice start for the enabling them for the collaboration.
Yeah. Is that the same for experienced engineers? I can imagine that if I've never done a hackathon and I go into a team, I do kind of know how to break stuff down. I might fall into kind of analysis paralysis. Collaboration might always be challenging depending on if you've mob programmed, if you know how to break those barriers. But are those the same challenges you've seen in existing hackathon teams?
I would say kind of the same challenges, but each hackathon team needs someone to guide and lead. So that's why I always encourage EMs to join the hackathons, because they already have the capability and knowledge of managing teams. Yeah. And if they join hackathons, most of the time they're not joining because, okay, this is too technical, I don't want to join it. But we want EMs in hackathons. And if they join, they can easily guide and help and like do whatever they do in real life. But a bit more fast in a bit more fast-paced environment, they can guide people. They can like lead people in order to each successful team in hackathon needs someone to do that. Even if it's not like he or she is not an engineering manager, it needs someone to manage everything and blocks ideas, because so many ideas going to come up, and we need to like have some limit for our focus on what we're going to deliver, and then expand like when time allows. So that's really important. Like member of each successful hackathon teams, if all like engineers sitting together just coding, even if the quality of the product is super great, they do like groundbreaking project, it's not going to be recognized.
Yeah.
And they need someone to focus on the goal and like why we're doing that. Always should be this question, and then getting to the result, then adding up some like fancy feature over that.
I receive a lot of questions for people that are slightly more early in career with regards to how can I distinguish myself nowadays in this tech field? People are getting laid off. There's very good expertise out in the market and I'm applying for jobs, but how can I distinguish myself? I feel like there's a lot of benefits that you can get from Hackathon, but I'm very curious to hear your perspective. What would you say the biggest benefits are of participating in hackathons as engineers?
For me, myself, it was like the most benefit I get was not like the prize, was not the like other stuff around it, was the learning process I had. So for the soft skill, you have huge amount of opportunity to learn, because you have 1 week. You need to connect with people, you need to collaborate with people, you need to get something out with those people. So this is really challenging. Normally when you like onboarding to a team, it takes a month or something to get into the same like connection with the people. But because you have this urge, you don't have time, it allows you to jump and it allows to overperform and doing that. So it was like, for me, it was really nice. Is that even possible to connect for those people? And now they're like all teams I was working, now they are my close friends. So it was like the time we were really in connection that we changed to be a friend, because even like more than like my connection is more with like my day-to-day like teammates, because time is really intense. You need to like focus, you need to put your whole attention into the project, and then you need to collaborate well with all people. And not only for that, for the technical aspect is amazing. For example, for prompt engineering, that was like my enter point to the prompt engineering, understanding about that. Like getting my hand dirty with AI and LLM. So maybe your day-to-day work, you don't have capability to do that. So you're working something completely not related to that. But hackathon is a great time to just go out there, even if you find a project that they're using some technology that you like, just jump into it. This is the best moment you can learn, you can apply the knowledge in real life project. And I'm using it always like this, because I'm also like into gaming and developing games, but really hobby games, as I mentioned. I found same like opportunity in one of the hackathon. There was a team, they wanted to develop a game. I jumped into the idea because, okay, this is a really good moment. I cannot find any opportunity to develop a game at Booking, so it doesn't have any relation. So the game itself was to like enable people to learn. So we have an famous experimentation tooling that we developed for a long time, and because like experimentation is a DNA of Booking.com. We have so many A/B tests and so on, but the tool getting really complex because it developed throughout many years, and if you want to learn it, it takes a lot of time. So the idea was to create a game and let people play the game, and you getting to a blocker, and then you need to open experimentation tool and do some action. Then you go to next step, and it asks you, now I'm blocked. So you need to you learn a process without even opening documentation. It was like a Star Wars style game, and you need to go to the step by step answering the question, and sometimes open this link and go to the experimentation. Now you need to set up the experimentation and go ahead. And because of the time, the experimentation, always time is important, because you need to wait for a month to get the result. But we speed that up with simulating the data. We inject data to the experimentation, like simulating that it like a month passed. Now you need to make decision. Now you need to make a call. Is that going to be full on or not? So this is really crucial and important decision for the company. But we changed it to a game, and you can play 1,000 times, and then you can understand and learn how to make the call in different situation, and the benefit goes directly to the company. because this is really crucial. If you make it run code, you're gonna get like a lot of money. So we created a game. You do not need to open even a documentation and go through the learning process super fast. So it has different levels. You start really simple experiment, getting to difficult, and difficulter. And that was only in a week. So we were really amazed. The team were really happy that we could manage this, and the output was really tangible. Maybe this is not for everyone. Some people like video and so on, but there is a lot of people, they want to get hands on the project and see what is doing in real life, and make a call and see if it's not, and it's like safe call.
Yeah.
So if you make this like wrong decision, you just learn, and your company doesn't lose anything. And that was really important. This is like one of the things I mentioned, that you need, if you want to learn something, this is the best moment. You need to look into a project that they have a goal or aim to do something that you want to learn. Jump into it. There is no need to having the expertise to jump. This is the moment you need to go and learn and do it.
Yeah. And I feel like what would hold people back is they're afraid, right? How can I do something that I've never done before? I feel like nowadays that barrier of entry is lower and lower because you have a lot of tooling.
Exactly.
And you are able to educate yourself. So then it's just confidence.
It's way better than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just have to do it. Man, I do hate that answer because for me, it's very hard to start. And then people say, you know what makes it easier to start? It's just to do it, and to do it over and over and over again. It sounds very simple and still is challenging, right? Building something, having ideas. I mean, even when you and I talked over lunch just now, you were already talking about ideas, and you see those ideas due to the experience you have building up on your ideas.
Right.
I feel like sometimes I have ideas, and the step to actually building those, they do become smaller. I have fun with vibe coding. I now start easier, but I don't finish, for example. I have ideas that I'm like, oh, can I make a game out of that? Then I get to a point where I can make a lobby, people can join on the same room, but then I don't actually continue with creating the game. I start and do something else, which I've never had before.
Right.
So the dynamic changes. But I am learning a lot. I feel like this pressure cooker, both for your soft skills and for your hard skills, is very valuable.
Exactly. The same, but about the idea is like, I've created a project. This is like a personal project. I wanted to know more about sentiment analysis, and intention and topic detection and so on. But I wanted to do it in a safe environment for my personal data.
Yeah.
So I've created a Telegram bot and attached it to the friend group that we have. So there's a group that we have with our friends. And this is a safe place. I can easily attach everything to that. And this Telegram bot just collect all messages and send it back to my LLM server that I have. And what I do, I analyze the sentiment, the topics people are speaking about. Is the trend goes up, goes down? I create a dashboard, fancy dashboard. But each time I'm looking at it, because this was a basic idea, I come up with a new idea. Okay, what if I predict the next message? So I added something to predict the next message. So each time the message, I get the context of the previous messages and message they reply, and try to predict what is the next message, then compare it with the next message, what is the accuracy of the prediction. So there are many ideas coming up. Each time you look into the previous idea, you need to start. The meaning of start is to, if you have something there, it's like giving you energy to add some new break over that. And then you see you ending a huge project. But sometimes you aim really high and you want to, for example, add something, and this is really too big to be feasible and disappoint you to do it. So you need to go really small, really like market stuff. Just go really small steps. Then it encourages you to do it more and more.
Yeah.
So this is, for me, it was working, like doing really small features. So each time I didn't develop the whole idea together. The first version only had like showing the message that was in the Telegram, nothing out without LLM. But the current version, even I can switch between LLM, I can reanalyze, you can change the prompt. So each time I added a new feature, then it gives me huge energy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Adding a new feature to it. Let's do it. So even in midnight, I'm saying, okay, I need to add something to it. So I see what's going to happen. And this is like also sharing some of that with my friend. They're amazed. Oh my God, have you done that? And so it's so nice. And that's really nice. I think this stuff like you can do, and the learning process, like I'm doing the same work at my current job nowadays. but the scale is huge. This is completely different. But this learning process helped me really nice and like enabled me to do it and involve in all steps, which was even not like part of my job description. I could like have a huge and dramatic effect into many like prompting of the process and any other process related to LLM and AI related to my real job. But it started all from the hobby project. It's like I'm kind of addicted to this nowadays.
I can see that. Man, I think it's very smart to figure out a way to get really good at executing with different technologies, building little projects here and there for your own kind of personal journey. I feel like it's really good in distinguishing yourself when you're talking about career perspective, but also, like you mentioned, you can apply it at your current job. You can actually see other teams that are doing something that actually you've done in a personal project, or you're like, how would you do that? You execute, and then because you're having so much fun, you move to that team. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And that helped me a lot. You know, for example, the same project I mentioned, I'm doing the same, but with a larger scale and
booking scale.
In the booking scale. So I know both aspects. I know like how it goes with the small project and how it goes, what's the challenges of the big project. So, and I can apply some of them to the other, and even I learned something in my job. Okay, let's apply it to my personal project and improve it. And so we had so many meetings with OpenAI that we are working directly, and I learned a lot about how you need to, like, for example, use model. You need to start with a larger model, then you need to adapt it to the medium model, and the final project you can use it with the Flash, for example, but you need to fine tune. You need to like adapt it. Don't start with the like cheaper model because you're going to get a poor result and you don't know how to like fine tune the prompt that you have. So these learnings are really general learning that you can use in your personal project or the real life project, but you can experiment it easily, because if you want to experiment in the real work, it's more challenging. But experimenting in my personal project related to my friend channel is super simple.
Yeah.
And also I can experiment whatever I want, different languages, what's like the output for the different models and everything. And it goes with no risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the best, man. I love learning about your projects and your passion for hackathons. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. This was a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. We'll round it off here then. If you're still listening, leave a like if you liked the episode. Let us know in the comment section what you thought, and we'll see you on the next one.